Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Good Human. Today we have another very special guest, second time that he is on the show, Mr. Chase Brown. Hello, Chase.
Hi Abby, how you doing? I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to return.
I'm doing great. I love having you on. We are playing another game today. If you have not seen the last episode with Chase over the holidays, we did a ranking of Christmas related things, and I had a great time with you playing that little
hmm
game. So I thought, why don't we get another game going with Mr. Chase Brown?
Yeah, I think that's a
To,
good idea. I'm really excited. I don't know much about the game, but I'm ready to learn about the game.
I know I thought whether or not I should let you in on what the game is and give you like a preview of it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to. Let's get it off the dome. I want your true reactions, true opinions. Before we get started, for our listeners, I usually have a sparkling water. I've been slacking when it comes to these video episodes. I don't have a sparkling water to share on them. I have been drinking coffee today, which, if you know
Okay.
anything about me and my caffeine tolerance, it's low, and
Mm.
I'm feeling wired. I'm feeling sweaty. So let's get rolling.
I've got some electrolytes myself.
Oh, do you?
Shout out to the Gatorade Glacier Freeze community. Frost, cool and
Very good.
crisp is how they
That's
advertise. Cool and crisp. And hold
that's the
on, hold on,
best
hold on.
flavor. Oh, nice.
They're right. They're right.
Cool and crisp.
They're right. Cool and crisp. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Are you a Gatorade or a Powerade person?
I'll pick up a Gatorade. Like if I'm going to the store and I see the two on the
Yeah.
shelf, I'll pick up a Gatorade. But if I'm
Yeah.
somewhere and I'm at someone's house and they're a Powerade person, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
All
I'll
right,
take
that's
down that
fair.
Powerade.
That's fair.
Is that the start of the game or is that?
No, but that's a good intro into the game. So
Okay.
today, Chase, we're playing a game of bop or flop. So
Okay.
I have a list here of things that are particularly related to the recent times, like things that
Okay.
are popular now, things that were popular, hot topics in 2021. So I'm
Sure.
going to be reading some things off of this list, and I need you to tell me whether they are a bop, which is good, or a flop, which is not so good. And we can go into a little explanation if you have some strong opinions.
Okay.
So, any questions before we dive in?
No, I'm good. I'm hip. I'm into it. Let's do it.
All right, Chase. The first thing I have on my list, Instagram, bop or flop.
I think Instagram is a bop. I
Okay.
think Instagram is one of the I think I use Instagram more so than any other social media app anymore.
Yeah.
I just like seeing shit, and
Yeah.
I really like what other people are into. And I feel like more so on Instagram, people are, people say, well, people are only showing you their best versions of themselves on Instagram. I don't think that's true. I think people
Yeah.
like to show what they're really into on Instagram more so than like any other app or anything. So I'm into it. I like Instagram.
See, I was gonna give Instagram a flop, to be honest,
Okay.
because as of late, I've not been loving it, but
Okay.
I do see your points, and I
Mm.
do like looking at other people's stuff on Instagram. I like the more candid posts that are going on lately. I
Yeah.
feel like we've really moved away from like the curation and like, the
Sure.
really pretty feed and the
Yeah.
filters. Um, but I don't know. I think Instagram is it's on its way out, if I am being
Mm.
honest. If I'm doing a little social media marketing prediction trends here,
Okay.
I don't know that Instagram is going to survive in the long term. I think it's getting a little lame, if I do say so myself. But
There are
I still like
definitely
it.
Yeah, there are definitely things about it that I'm way out on, like the photo dumps and the
Mm.
post a picture of your things.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not my vibe. But if you
Right.
I'll fuck with your I'll fuck with the song you post on your story. I'm not afraid to listen to new
Right.
things.
I think that's where I like it. I'm a big Instagram story girl. I rarely ever scroll my feed, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I'm
Yeah. Not a
watching
big
people's
feed, not a big
stories.
poster. Yeah.
No, no, no. I haven't posted. I have not been posting consistently on there because I'm just like not vibing with it. But I do like a good dump. I like a good photo dump. Could we have a better name for that? Like literally anything else? A dump?
Yeah, I
Whatever.
guess
I
so.
like a photo dump.
Maybe I'll have to try one.
So I am gonna give Instagram a solid blop, which is the middle ground. So I guess we have a third option here. If you're not really sold on something being a bop or
Okay.
a flop, feel
Okay.
free to give it a blop.
Okay.
So Instagram for me, blop for you, bop.
Cool.
What about
Into that.
TikTok? Are
I
you on TikTok, Chase?
am on TikTok.
Okay.
I never know how to feel about it. Like it's yeah. I guess it's a bop. Not for
Mm,
me necessarily, but I guess generally speaking, like I guess I would put this in the blop category personally.
okay.
I like sharing videos with my friends, and I like seeing my friends who are on there, like yourself, be funny and creative and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, it's not a medium that I've really tried to dive into myself that much.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big like I have the app and I'll scroll on it for a little bit, but I've never like gotten lost in the app and never spent too
Uh,
much time on it. So
lucky
maybe that's
you.
just something I need to do.
No, you don't
But
need to do that. You
I would
don't
say
need to do
blop
that.
for me.
Blop is fair. I am addicted to TikTok, and I would say
Okay.
if you have not yet gotten to that point,
Yeah.
don't get yourself there.
Okay.
Um, can I tell you something that you said on the
Yeah.
last episode that really stuck with me that I
Mhm.
truly think about all the time? You've like
Mhm.
reframed the way I think about stuff. So, you said when we were ranking Christmas stuff, a lot of the items you didn't personally love, but you
Mhm.
loved it for other people. And you
Yeah. Yeah.
loved that
Yeah.
other people loved it. And
Mhm.
I have truly, like, I'm not even kidding right now, thought about that so many times since our last
Cool.
episode because I'll like see something that like I don't particularly like, but I'm like, you know what? Go off. Like I'm so
Yeah.
glad you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So I think that's what I'm getting vibes from you about TikTok. And
Yeah.
as we know, TikTok's a bop for me. I think it is hilarious. I think it is unhinged. I think I I learn so much, like actual useful information. I try to tell
Sure.
Matt that like something that I've learned on there, like some I don't know,
Mhm.
there's like people on science TikTok, there's like history TikTok. I truly have learned more on TikTok than I have in the public education system. So it's a bop for me.
Very good. I'm into that. Sounds good.
All right, moving on to the next one. What do we think about mullets? Mullets have made a comeback amongst the hair community.
Have they? I. That's a flop to me. Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm not into. What are we doing mullets for? Like, why would people
okay,
want to? There's no the male and female mullet are both bad looks.
okay,
So
that's fair.
I'm not cool with that. And I think mullets. I think the only time mullets look okay are on like very small children. You know what I mean?
Um,
Like
I'm not
like a
sure
small
that
child with a
I've.
mullet, like a mullet on a
I'm
small
not.
child.
Yeah, no, no. I hear what you're saying. I don't know that I've ever seen a child with a
You've
mullet.
seen
I've seen.
you
I've.
have.
I've
After
seen
this, you'll
children with.
Google photos. I implore the good human audience to Google um, mullet baby or young mullet baby while we're doing this episode. You'll see what I'm talking about.
mullet mullet babies.
But
You
other
heard it,
than that,
guys.
flop.
I am from a semi-rural part of Pennsylvania, and I think
Yeah.
if there was anywhere that children were going to have mullets, it would be where I'm from. And I don't know that I've seen a child with mullet. I have seen many children with the rat tail situation.
Oh yeah,
That's
no, not
different.
the rat
That's
tail, not the
different than
rat
the
tail.
mullet.
Yeah, not the rat tail.
Well,
That's some Padawan
I'm
shit.
gonna I'm gonna challenge you on this one. I think mullets are a bop. I think they're
Oh,
funny. Like I like I'm really big on ironic fashion and ironic like hairstyles, ironic
uh-huh.
makeup. I think it's very like cool and just funny when people do like outrageous things or do or wear things that are traditionally like ugly. I'm here for
Sure.
it.
Okay. I'm behind you. I'm behind you. You have to send me some adult mullets that you see
Do
that
you
are
know who
like
Curtis
cool and
Connor
funny.
is?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, Chase. Okay. Well, Curtis Connor is one of my favorite YouTubers. He has a
Okay.
podcast. He's very funny. He has a mullet, and
Okay.
I support it. So
Okay.
maybe that's your homework. I'm gonna Google mullet babies. You're
Yeah,
gonna Google Curtis Connor, and then we
I
can
can do that.
reconvene at a later date.
Sure. And then do a whole mullet expo. All right, I'm good.
Yep.
We can do that.
Yep.
I'm good
Cool.
for it.
Cool. All right, Chase. Next one. I don't know if you've watched this show. You'll have to let me know. Bop
Okay.
or flop, Euphoria.
That's a big bop. That's a big bop. Euphoria is a big bop.
You watched the
Yeah.
newest season?
I've watched the newest season. I watched the first season as it aired, like
Mm.
the from the first episode. I really
Oh,
like HBO's programming, so like I'll pretty much dive into anything they get. Since they've done HBO Max, I wouldn't say they've muddied the waters, but I'm not gonna watch every HBO Max show necessarily, like
yeah.
the system, but I'll watch like pretty much every HBO show that comes across the way. And Euphoria, when it started, was just this one that was exciting and had this profile because it was Zendaya, who was coming from two mega successful Disney Channel programs, and now
Hmm.
she's like, all right, I'll turn in this, HBO series where I'm a recovering teenage drug addict. And
Hmm.
I think the show's really great. I think the soundtrack's great. I think the costume's great. Production design is great. It has one of the best pacings of any show I've seen. And I thought
Yeah.
all this in the first season, and then I thought this second season was right on par with that too.
Okay.
I definitely thought this second season became way more popular. Like I noticed even from the
Mm.
first episode of the second season that a lot more people were talking about it than its first one run, which is great. And I think I really enjoyed this second season. I thought it had a lot of good stuff going for it, and I think this is a show where I don't think it should and will be around for a very long time.
Hmm.
But as it's around for now, I think it's really good and I'm into it.
I agree. So I did not watch the first season as it came out. The only reason I watched the first season was because of how popular the second season
Mm,
got. So I was
hmm.
watching the first season as the new season 2 episodes were coming out, so I could
Oh,
kind of get
nice.
caught up. So Matt and I just watched it all for the first time recently. I
Hmm.
personally think I like season 1 more than season 2. I
Hmm.
don't know. There were things that I really liked in season 2. There were some things that I didn't quite love, but obsessed with Zendaya. I think the acting is great. I don't know what the word is for it. I'm not into like TV show production, but whatever
Hmm.
like the not cinematography, but just the way that it maybe the pacing like you said or the
Hmm.
things that would like cut in and out, the little sketches, the little
Yeah.
skits, like it
Hmm.
had an aspect of humor to it which I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
So
it
it's a
did.
bop.
It's a neat show for sure. I'm excited to see that continue. And I agree with you. I think I like the first season as a whole more than the second season. But I think the second season, like you said, had some really interesting stuff going for it too.
Do you have a favorite character?
That's hard to say. I really do like Nate Jacobs. just like as character. Not like I don't think Nate Jacobs is like a cool guy. He's like very cool. He's like very. I would like hang out with Nate Jacobs. Like we would definitely. No, but I think he's the most interesting character in the show besides Rue. Obviously, I think he's
Gotcha,
like the
gotcha.
character that has um, kind of the most kind of going for him. I also really like
Depth.
Fezco. He's a great character too. But I think Nate Jacobs is like his theme, even like if you're a Euphoria fan or not a
Hmm.
Euphoria fan, listen to Nate Growing Up, which is like his character
Yeah,
theme by Labyrinth. It's one of
yeah.
the greatest character themes of all time. It's so defining, and I think he's just like a crazy, sinister character, and I'm into that.
Yeah, I would maybe preface that I like Nate Jacobs the best statement with like you like his character
Well, you
and
said
the
you like a
depth of
good
it.
dump earlier, Abby, so we're all saying things today.
All right, we're even at this point then, aren't we? All right, Chase. Moving on to the next one.
Give it to me.
Air fryers become very popular in the last probably like 5 or so years, but
Sure.
there are so many different kind of air fryers out on the
There
market,
are.
and I got a new air fryer for Christmas, and that's when you know you're an adult because it was my favorite Christmas gift. And you can see how excited and passionate I am about it because I'm not even letting you get in your bop or flop first because I'm gonna go ahead and say air fryers are a hard bop.
I back you up on that. I think air fryers are
Okay.
hard pop too. Just a convenient tool. Really
Ugh.
good. You can do anything and everything with. And there's so many new things you discover. Like you said, TikTok's probably good for that. There's probably a lot of air fryer
Mm-hmm.
content on TikTok.
Totally.
And you can definitely dive into that and you'd say, okay, well, I can try that and it'll take me 5 to 10 minutes. I'm in. So, ah,
The one that we got for Christmas, it is
mm,
from the brand Ninja, and
Ninja,
it's an air fryer, air roaster, toaster, dehydrate. I'm
the
obsessed. I'm
works. The
literally obsessed.
works.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, big bop for me. What about Wordle? Have you dabbled in the game of Wordle
I'm
recently?
I'm I'm all over Wordle. That's a big bop to me.
Ah.
I like Wordle a lot. I think it's a fun. I think it's a fun game to play. Um, there's so many other versions of it out there now
Mhm.
that I don't dive into. I'm an OG Wordle kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I've played for the past like 2 months, I guess.
Mhm.
So I've been playing for a little bit of time now, and I really like it. I play every day. I don't miss a day. So it's my
Same
shit.
here.
Yeah.
Same here. Big bop for me. What's the best you've ever done? Like how many tries?
I have like I think I have 4 2-baggers. I don't
Wow,
have
that's
any one
impressive,
baggers. My
Chase.
hist- my
No.
Instagram's pretty crazy as far as Wordle goes. But yeah, I've
Yeah.
got I've got 4 2-baggers. I usually get them in. I think my mode is probably 3.
Mhm.
Uh, um, but yeah, I'm a Wordle head. What about you? What are
Love
your
Wordle.
numbers looking like?
I started playing. I think I've been playing for a little less than 2 months. I think my streak is like 51 days or something. I have
Okay.
two baggers, and I thought that was pretty good. So you beat me there. But I have a slightly controversial opinion. I
Okay.
think it's more impressive to consistently get it on 3 tries
I
than it
agree.
is to ever get it on two. You're getting it on 2 tries. You just got a lucky first guess at that
Yeah.
point. Same with
Hmm.
just getting it on the first try. So I think how many threes you have is more important, more impressive than how many twos. But that is
Talk your
cool that you
shit,
have four
Abby.
twos.
Talk your
Hey,
shit. Hey, you post
that's
your threes, y'all. Post your
yeah.
threes.
Wait, let me see how many. Okay, so I personally am
How
most
many threes do
frequently
you
getting
got?
it on turn number 4 for me, but I do have a handful of threes. So
Did you play
I'm not
today?
really backing. I got a 5 today.
Okay. I got a 4 today, I think. Yeah. I Oh, you can't see because of my background. I just try to hold my histogram up on my phone. You just see the shiny girls back there, which is terrifying. Um, but yeah, great game. A lot of fun to play.
I'm glad we agree on that. I didn't know if you were playing or not.
Hmm.
You're not, I'm not seeing you post your board anywhere. Are you texting
I'm
this
not
to
a post.
someone? Do you have like a,
I'm not a poster.
you're just doing it for the
Yeah,
love of the game?
I just do it for the love of the game. My friends throw it in the group chat sometime, and sometimes
Yeah.
I do too. But I usually play, um, at like a week. Like I'd probably play it at like 3 a.m. this morning.
Oh,
So like
good.
I do it at like random hours.
Wordle is now an integral part of my morning routine.
Mm,
I try not to look at my phone too much like immediately in the morning so I don't drain all my dopamine levels first thing.
mm-hmm.
But once I do get on my phone, Wordle is the first thing that I'm doing. Immediately
Yeah,
texting the group chat.
yeah.
So I'm glad you also think it's a bop. Maybe I'll start sending you my grids if I'm getting a
Please
three, if
do.
I'm hitting the
Send me
threes.
your grids. Send me your
I
grids,
will.
Abby.
All right, Chase.
Mm,
Next one.
okay.
Kim K's
Oh,
most recent take on work ethic. Have you seen the video?
it, it, I haven't seen the video, but I've heard the clip
Okay.
um, several times.
Yeah.
Um, when you said Kim, the first Kim that came in my head was Kim Possible. And I was like, what controversial takes do we have? Um, but the Kim K work ethic, for people who aren't aware, I don't know the quote verbatim, but Kim Kardashian West was essentially like, there's one big glaring problem, and I need you to talk to all of the women in the workspace about this. And that's
Hmm.
like, get your ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work anymore. Um,
Yep.
just go out, and that's how you become like successful. I guess it was Variety, and they were asking how you become a successful businesswoman, this and that.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's a great sentiment. Like, I get that. Like,
Hmm.
I think that the problem that most people have, and I guess I have a problem with it too, is just like kind of how you frame it and who's framing it.
Yeah.
Like all the power to the Kardashian slash Jenner empire for
Hmm.
becoming successful off the back of this TV show, and then even things before the TV show that happened, and kind of just becoming an empire off of that and moving with culture to continue to be successful, and then be placing themselves with the right people in order to
Hmm.
continue their success,
Hmm.
um, which is a big part of it that people tend to overlook. But I don't think that, I think it's a big problem of the message is okay, but the messenger sucks. Um, I
Right.
think that I think that sentiment coming from someone who um, didn't have a father that was a profile lawyer, a
Hmm.
stepfather that was an Olympian, and so on and so forth, and things like that. Like if that was coming from, I'm trying to think of someone who has different circumstances, but whoever it may be, coming from them would mean a lot more than coming from Kim Kardashian. So I think what she said, I think what she said is okay, but I think the combination of her saying it makes it flop.
Britney Spears telling us "you better work, bitch" is
Okay,
different than Kim Kardashian saying it. Britney Spears
right,
had a very hard childhood
right.
with difficult relationship with her parents, a childhood star, being the financial supporter for her family. If she
Hmm.
wants to tell me you want a Maserati, you better work, bitch, I will for her.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that is probably the resounding opinion on Miss Kim K's take on worth ethic is that exactly as you said it. Who are
Hmm.
you to tell me to get off
Hmm.
my ass and work? Um, I think the other issue that I have with it, which
Sure.
I don't think I've seen too many people talk about, not all of us want to work, Miss Kimberly. Some of us
Yeah.
do not dream of having an empire. Some of
Hmm.
us do not dream of labor. Some people
Hmm.
just want to like chill and exist, and I think that's totally fine. And I think it's
Yeah.
so weird. I've talked about it before. Hustle culture is so weird to me, and
Hmm.
like capitalism, all that good stuff. I
Yeah.
think that was like the first reaction I had, besides those words even coming out of like Kim Kardashian West, was
That's
just
true.
like, girl, not all of us want to do that. All right?
Hmm.
I want to play Wordle. That's all I want to do.
I need my
So,
streaks. And then the other end of that, which is the people who, in their mind, like, oh, I work very hard. Like, I have a full-time job and I have two part-time jobs, and I'm like working all these hours a week to try to provide for myself and
mhm,
my family, and I'm trying to become this thing. And oh, but you're telling me I'm not working hard enough? Like, how does that make
right.
me feel? So there's
Yeah,
it's a messy message.
it is, because I totally agree. The idea that all you have to do is work hard in life and you'll be
Mm,
successful is just
mm-hmm.
simply not true for so many
Sure.
people, and there's so many other variables that go into it. So many people, like you said, that are working their asses off that aren't
Mm-hmm.
billionaires.
Right.
So yeah, I think Kim missed the mark on it a little bit. I'm gonna give it a flop.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Flop.
I have another Kim related one on a
Okay.
lighter note.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Skeet, Miss Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson?
I like Pete Davidson a lot.
Hmm.
I like Pete Davidson's ability to um, date a lot of like high profile women, and not
Hmm.
be a thing to where he's like, it never seems like he dates someone and then leaves the situation and there's any sort of animosity, or anyone's like, or he's just like, seems like he's has anything to say but like nice things about the person afterwards. Like if you
Hmm.
watch him in interviews talk about people he's dated in the past, like I think like there's a Charlemagne the God interview with him where he talks about like a few of the women he's dated, and he's like, oh, they're awesome, they're cool. She's like the coolest person. She's gonna have a TV show one day. Like she's the best. I love her. Oh,
Hmm.
she's a great mom. This and that. So I'm like, cool, like I'm into Pete Davidson. I really like him on SNL. I think he's funny. I like his movies. And the thing with Kim Kardashian, that's the cool for him. I think that's nice. I'm not a person who's super into celebrity relationship.
Hmm.
I think that's neat for sure. And as long as the both of them are happy, we can give that a bop.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I think Pete Davidson's cool. I think he's just like a really chill guy. For anybody
Mm-hmm.
listening that knows Chase and I in real life, knows our friend group, Matt and I always
Mm-hmm.
say that he gives us Tommy vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you agree?
I would agree
just
with
a
that. Yeah.
chill, just a
Mm-hmm.
chill, fun dude. Yeah, I didn't think them dating was real at first. I thought it was like a publicity stunt. As we know,
Mm.
Kris Jenner never rests. So I did not think that was a real relationship, but it seems
Yeah.
to be a real relationship. I'll
Mm.
give it a bop. I'm
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
with it.
yeah. Shout out to them.
We ship Kim and Pete.
Mhm.
All right, Chase. Moving right along.
Okay.
This can be as detailed or vague as you want.
Okay.
The new Batman movie.
Mm.
I
The new
haven't seen
Batman
it, so
movie.
this is all you.
The new Batman movie is a bop.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
it's a cool movie. Um, yeah. I very much so like good movies, and I like movies to be good. And that is a movie that I think is a good movie, and it has a lot of really great qualities to it. More so than just being, like your standard comic book movie. I just think it's like a really
Mm-hmm.
good movie. I think people should see it. Yeah, Bob.
All right, cool. Yeah, Matt and I definitely want to see it. My mom and my stepdad saw it. My mom said that
Mm,
she thinks it could be 40 minutes shorter if they cut out all the dramatic
definitely.
pauses.
Yeah.
That was the only piece of feedback she gave me, so I wasn't sure if
Hmm.
it was good or not. So good to know.
Yeah. Definitely a long
Zoe
motion picture.
Kravitz,
Zoe Kravitz is the coolest. She's so awesome. I like her a lot. Robert
obsessed.
Pattinson's cool too. It's
Yep.
it's a good situation for sure.
Well, I'll have to go see it, and I'll get back to you on how we liked it. All right, Chase. Another hair-related one.
Okay.
Mustaches. Not a full beard mustache, like just the mustache has been making a resurface on the face of many males lately.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
Yeah. Bop. I think mustaches
100%.
are so cool. I think
Me too.
I think it's a good piece of facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you can grow like a very defined mustache
Mm-hmm.
and like you rock that as your facial hair. I think that's dope. Yeah.
Agreed. Love a man with a mustache.
Hmm.
Dua Lipa. Bop or flop?
Um, I'll tell you this. I I've never listened to any Dua Lipa music before. Um,
Jeez.
I know I know I know she has a song with the baby. I haven't heard the song. What's it
Chase,
called? It's a very
Chase.
popular song. What's it called?
Levitating.
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 Yeah. I haven't heard the song, but a podcast I listen to references that song a bunch.
Okay.
So I know like the melody of the song, but I've never
Yeah,
like listened to Dua Lipa's song. My friend Dominic thinks she's very attractive, so
she is.
sometimes he'll send her Instagram posts to the group
Okay.
feed.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, Tom. I don't know if that's like whatever, bro. To put you on blast. But that's about my relationship with the extent of my relationship with Dua Lipa. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she's like
Oh.
funny or anything. But
Shh.
I'm gonna put that as like a mm, can I give her one of
Well,
those votes?
I'll answer it for you.
Okay.
Hard bop.
Okay.
Obsessed with Dua Lipa. I've been listening to Dua Lipa for a few years now.
Oh, really?
Kind of, but I was kind of listening to her before she really was like super popular. No, I'm just kidding. I started listening to her right around when she became like super popular, a couple
Uh,
years back. Levitating is a fantastic song, although I think she did cut out DaBaby's part and she filled it in with her
mm,
own stuff because I think he said some homophobic and problematic stuff. So
okay.
I think he's nixed on Levitating, but Levitating is
Okay.
a great song regardless. She
Okay.
just put out a new song with Megan Thee Stallion called Sweetest
Mm,
Pie, and I would really recommend
mm.
you listening to it. It's a
Is the
bop.
song about pie?
It's about yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what that's about. It's a really good song. I think it's gonna be big this spring into the
Cool.
summer. It feels like a sunshine, windows down kind of
Okay.
song. That's a bop. Dua Lipa's a bop. I have nothing more to say on it.
Sweet. Sounds good to me. I'll do my research. I
Yes,
got
please
mullets and
do,
Dua
because
Lipa.
all right, yeah, you have your pen and paper. You have a list going of your homework.
I got it.
Next up, we have astrology.
Hmm. If you're an astrologist, I guess that's a bop. But if you're like a if you're like a if you're like a 20 something who is trying to get
Mm,
some answers, I'm gonna call that a flop.
mm.
But if it's your
Yeah.
job, that's cool. If it's like your
Are
job to
are
know
there?
about astrology, that's dope.
This might make me sound really dumb. Are
Uh-huh.
there astrologists, or are those like astronomists? What's the difference?
Hey man.
Astronomists astronomists are like space and stars and stuff.
That's correct.
Astrologists, I don't really know that that's a profession. I think astrology, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking before I dig myself a hole because I don't
Hey
know what I'm
man.
talking about.
I know four professions for sure that exists. Anything else is guessing. So you may be correct, but yeah, unless it's your job to know about these things,
hmm
I don't think you should be too concerned.
Yeah, I think astrology is fun.
Uh-huh.
I like you know, my Capricorn stuff. I'm a Capricorn girly.
Sure.
Are you a Libra or Scorpio? You're
Scorp.
born in November. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Scorp.
Scorp.
I have a Scorpio moon. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah,
I'm a
that could mean so many
yeah.
things.
I think astrology is fun in that way where, like, personality tests, you read something and
Sure.
you're like, that's so Capricorn of me.
Uh-huh.
To take it super seriously, I don't know enough about it to really have an opinion on that.
Right.
Um, so for recreational astrology, up.
Uh-huh.
I think it's
Okay.
fun. I think it's
Okay.
cool.
You're into you think it should be legalized throughout the you're into the recreational use. Okay.
Right, right, right,
Legalize it,
right.
guys.
Legalize astronomy. Astrology.
There you go.
Astrology. All right. What do you think about Uber Eats?
Uber Eats specifically?
Yeah, Uber Eats specifically.
I've never used Uber Eats before.
Are you do you order food to your house a lot or are you not big on that?
I don't do it often,
Oh,
but
I wish I
I
was you.
will I will use DoorDash if I do.
Eh.
But yeah,
You're DoorDash over Uber Eats?
I don't know what people don't talk to me about food apps. Like people Abby, you have to understand people aren't coming across my door and saying, "Hey buddy, like what food app are you using? You're using the wrong one." Like I'm very much people are informing me on these things. This is why I feel like I'm behind because people aren't telling me the correct apps to order food from to my home. Are you telling me Uber Eats is the better app?
I personally am an Uber Eats girly. That may have something to do just with the like restaurants in my area and the availability of things
Mm,
and like the fact that there just tends to be more Uber Eats drivers around my place than there is DoorDash.
mm,
I've had one too many bad run-ins with DoorDash where
interesting.
she's kind of burned bridges with me, and I don't really feel comfortable trusting her anymore. So I tend
Hmm.
to lean towards Uber Eats, but it's okay if you don't have like a strong opinion on it. I will give it a bop. We could say
I'm
food delivery
I
services in general,
Well, that's the thing. See,
bop.
my thing is like I'll download an app. DoorDash is probably the first food delivery app I've downloaded, and I never
Mm-hmm.
even thought about, well, let me expand or let me download another one or this and that. I'm just,
Mm,
I'm not.
right.
Somebody's got to get me out of my ways.
That's all right though. It's brand loyalty. You can be loyal to DoorDash,
But
and
I'm
I
not
I
very
respect
loyal.
that.
Clearly, I'm not very loyal to the Dash. I'm willing to switch up on them.
All right, add that to your list. Try
Okay,
Uber Eats.
got it. Got
All right. I have quite a long list here to go.
it.
We
Okay.
have entered a longer discussion than I anticipated, which is great. So I might skip around on some of these to hit the real important ones. I'm gonna jump down on my list to reality dating shows.
Mm,
Thoughts,
reality dating shows. I
specifically dating shows. Love is Blind, Love Island, Bachelor, Too Hot to Handle.
Reality dating shows flop.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't, I think reality dating shows are, just, I like reality shows. I
Mm-hmm.
like a good reality drama. But
Yeah.
reality dating shows, I never really got into or really, like I've tried a lot of them, like even like the MTV, like Are You the One? Um,
Mm-hmm.
like shows like that I've like gotten into, but they've never really been as like fun or funny to me as like a Jersey Shore was like in the prime
Okay.
of its run.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I personally give reality dating shows a bop. That is my favorite
Mm,
genre of television. Love
okay.
Island is my favorite show.
Okay.
Um,
Never seen
but
it.
I respect, oh, it's so good. Love Island UK specifically, add it to your
Mm,
list.
okay.
It's fantastic. My favorite reality dating show. I love reality TV in general as well, but
Mm-hmm.
specifically the dating show. So it's a bop for me. I respect your opinion.
Cool. Thank you for respecting my opinion.
I love that you hate them. I love that for you. How do we feel about the revival of Y2k? The fashion, the overall vibes. What are we thinking?
I think it's a sign of the times. I would
Mm,
say it's a bop, but I think it's definitely a
hmm
sign of the times that um, history that we think is so recent isn't as recent when you consider maybe the people who are um, kind of shifting and moving that culture. But I think
hmm
that's a comfortable time for people. I
Yeah.
often say, like, when I hear people say, I wish that I was born in a different decade. I wish that I lived in the 60s. It's like, cool. I'm not super into like being in the thrust of the civil rights movement like that. But if I had a time machine, I'd go back to like 1999. Like that's probably like a good year to
hmm
hang out as like someone my
Yeah.
age. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
the 60s, and I'm not going like I'm not doing any of that. Like that's not like an
Yeah.
appealing thing to me. So I think
Right.
I think that's like just a time period that people are really comfortable with and people really kind of enjoy
Yeah.
when you look at recent history. So I'm into it. Bring it on.
I agree. Bop. I love the revival of the trends and the fashion. I think it's fun. I do have a question, a slight tangent. Matt and I
Mm.
always go back and forth on this. So, what year were you born? 95?
1995.
Okay. Do you consider yourself to be a 90s kid? You were max 5 years old. Were you a 90s kid? Or do
Yeah,
you not feel as though you belong in that category?
I feel like I belong in that category. I feel like I had
Okay.
enough from the I feel like I had enough from the culture and just being there that and enough reference from the
hmm
period to where I consider myself a 90s kid. And I don't think that I think probably that might be the cutoff, or maybe 96 is the cutoff. But
Yeah.
I think like if you're like a 97, like a 98, 99 is like definitely not like I wouldn't consider. But I think if you have enough
hmm
years in that um, decade, and as well as even
hmm
growing up in the early 2000s, like you're still a 90s kid in January of 2000. You know what I mean? Like it's not
hmm
like you haven't had enough of the thing. So yeah, I think I'm a 90s kid.
Okay. Because that's what Matt says as well. He was born in 94, and he
Hmm.
argues that he has enough memories and experience through the 90s, whereas I was born in 97, and
Hmm.
I don't particularly consider myself to be a 90s kid because I
Yeah.
don't remember anything from the 90s. You know, moving
Mm,
into the early 2000s, things were still in the same realm of like popularity as
sure.
they were in the 90s, but I don't personally feel as though I belong to the 90s kid community. Whereas
That makes
someone
sense.
like my brother, he was born in
Hmm.
1991. That's a
Hmm.
90s kid. Like, he's a
Yeah,
90s kid.
through
Yeah,
and through.
right. Yeah, I would agree that 95, maybe 96 is probably the cutoff to have, like, remembered anything from the 90s.
Mm,
All right, Chase. Moving right along.
let's do it.
Taylor Swift.
Pop.
Pop.
Yeah,
I'm not a
she just makes good
Swiftie.
music.
Yeah, I'm no
I'm not
Swiftie,
either.
but
I'll turn on her.
I'll
I'll
give
turn
her a
on her
bop.
music, but I'm not like I won't. Like I haven't listened to her latest versions of her albums, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she puts out good music, and I think that her stuff's pretty easy to listen to.
Agreed. Easy bop.
Hmm.
What about dating apps, Chase? Are you on the
Mm.
Tinder, on the Hinge, on the Bumble?
I've been on the litany of the applications,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I don't. I think dating apps are a flop.
Mm-hmm.
I've had we'll say successes on the applications, and
Okay.
I've also had the bland, terrible kind of like run-in, where it doesn't even, get to the point of like a physical thing, like a
Hmm.
in-person type of thing. It just kind of dies instantly. Been a part of the whole spectrum of the thing.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just I don't think it's a very good way to gauge people or beat people. Um, I'm very much so like I like to meet people in person at like things that I'm like interested in. Like I went to a
Common
concert this past
interests.
week, and it's like that's
Yeah.
a great place to meet someone. Like
Totally.
we know that we're here for this like common reason, and obviously
Hmm.
we have something to talk about immediately. So I think that's a lot better and more interesting than me than scrolling and swiping and like finding
Yeah.
like, oh, that looks interesting to me. And then have that be the kind of first reaction. And then, so I say flop.
I have never been on dating apps, but from what I've heard and witnessed and just the vibes that I get, I would also have to agree that it seems like a bit of a flop. I
Yeah,
probably
it's
would
pretty.
not uh, indulge in those if I was single. It seems annoying and,
Mm,
like you said, not a good like indication of who people are, and
mm,
you're just looking at people, and then yeah, I feel like it's also
yeah,
very superficial. I think it's a
pretty
flop.
slimy. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. All right. What about skinny jeans?
Hmm.
Those have been deemed by the Gen Zers to be chuggy.
Oh.
Skinny jeans are apparently out. This may be more of like a female thing than something you're
Mm,
super familiar with.
mm-hmm.
But men wear skinny jeans, so I guess in general, what are your thoughts, bop or flop?
I say flop. I say let your
Hmm.
legs loose.
Yeah.
Um, if you if you want to hop in a time machine, go grab some bell bottoms and come back. Yeah, I don't think
Word
people should have their. I think tapered pants are okay, but if they're all the way skinny, I don't know. I think you should let loose a little bit.
Words to live by from Chase Brown. Let your legs loose.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
You heard it here first.
You did.
Yeah, skinny jeans are a flop for me. I
Mm-hmm.
not in a way where I feel any sort of strong opinion about people continuing to wear them. I think that's
Sure.
fine. I think you should wear whatever you want at all times, no matter
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like cool or in style. I don't think they're flattering. I just don't think they look as nice as like a straight leg pant, like a
Sure.
tapered pant if you want to get like a little skinnier with it.
Mm-hmm.
I love a straight leg jean personally. I'm not rocking my skinny jeans anymore now that I know that my legs can look um, a little more loose, as you say.
When I first met you, you were wearing a pair of bootcut jeans. I remember.
What? Was I?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you were wearing bootcut jeans.
I used to be a big bootcut jean girl in like 2011.
That's cool. That's cool of 2011 you.
Yeah, everything comes and goes. I think everybody should just wear whatever they want. Everyone's having a meltdown about low-rise jeans possibly coming back in
Oh,
style.
really?
Hey, guess what? Nobody's forcing you to wear low-rise jeans. Like
That's
that's
true.
not
Nobody is.
gonna be a requirement. You can still wear high-waisted jeans. So, skinny jeans for me personally, flop. But wearing whatever you want, flop.
That's interesting. It's interesting how fashion's kind of always in reverse. Like we kind of just are doing,
Hmm.
like even in like Xenon, like if you're
Hmm.
familiar with Xenon,
Oh
like all they
yes.
really
Oh
wore was
yes.
like there's like they kind of like wore skirts and like plastic, like see through, like line. They wore like shower liners
Yeah.
over his clothes that
Yeah.
were just like hurdy, So like, I
Latex
think,
gloves.
yeah, I think that's where we're
Clothes
headed.
made out of rubber gloves.
Yeah, yeah, that's where we're going.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I loved the fashion in Xenon. The bright colors, I'm here for it.
And mind you, she's only a girl of the 21st century, so like
Right.
she gonna be around.
Mm-hmm. Xenon's not going anywhere, guys. Get used to her.
Please. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
All right. I'm gonna end it with two more people.
Okay.
First, Harry Styles.
Oh, Big Bop. Harry Styles is the
Yeah.
greatest. I love Harry Styles. His music is awesome. I love him in movies. I'm excited for him to do more. He's going to be
Mm-hmm.
coming up in the Marvel series, it looks like. But I really liked him in like Dunkirk. The episode of iCarly that One Direction was in was really good. Um, I'm really into Harry Styles. I think he's a cool chap. I really like
Hmm.
his whole shit. I wanted to go to his tour when he was
Yeah.
in when he was touring, but I'm always intimidated by going to shows like that.
Mm.
Just because of the fan base for the most part. Like I'm never sure how um, much of a concert you actually get to like ingest. Like if you're
Yeah.
not at a specific area. But yeah, Big Bop for
Hmm.
me. I love Harry Styles.
Yeah. Same. He's a bop for me. I love him. I love his music. I love his fashion sense.
Me too.
What are we? A little bit of a tangent. Men painting their nails. Bop or flop?
Bop.
Agreed. Men wearing skirts. Bop.
That's fine. Bop.
I think Harry Styles is really setting the stage for a lot of stuff like that, and I appreciate it.
I think so too. And as long as it's like flattering. Like
Mm,
I don't like when like when you see Harry Styles dressed that way, um,
hmm.
it looks good. Like he looks very
Yeah.
flattering on him. But like if you're just wearing a dress for the sake of wearing a dress, you're wearing like a skirt for the sake of it, um, and it doesn't look good, then find some friends, stop hanging around yes people,
Yeah.
and put on some shit that looks good. That's how I feel.
That leads into another tangent, a
Mm.
common debatable situation. Would you rather have friends that hype you up no matter what, or would you rather have friends that are like real with you about stuff?
I need the real deal of Neil. Hype is great, and
Hmm.
like hype is different than support, in my opinion.
Mm,
Like people can say, "Oh yeah, the thing you're doing or what you're about is like good and like cool and like you're doing the right thing," but someone's like, "Hey man, like I want to see you do that well, and I think maybe here are the things that you're could do better, or maybe here are the things that I think you've been just like missing out on as like like a person or whatever."
mm, hmm.
Um, I think you need that as having friends. I think having friends that are just going to be the hype people is not a good means for a lasting relationship.
Beautifully said, Chase. I totally agree. The last person on
Mm,
my list here today, none other than Kanye West.
mm, interesting.
Hmm.
Um, I have a long specific history with Kanye West.
Okay.
I've always, really been into him um, as an artist, as a
Hmm.
personality. I remember like some of the early music videos. I remember watching are his music videos,
Yeah.
and I always like grew up really loving him. I love most of his albums. Um, and I kind of idolized him at some point too, like just like his creativity, what he does, who he is as a person.
Hmm.
And then at some point, I just kind of stopped caring about Kanye West. Like I kind of got to the point where it wasn't even for me. Like I haven't listened. Like the last album, like last Kanye music I listened to was Kids See Ghost, and I think that
Mm.
was like the run with like Ye and all those albums. So uh, that was 2018, maybe
Hmm.
before. So I haven't listened to any of his new music. I don't really pay attention. Like I follow him on Instagram, so like I see the shit that he posts. I don't care about his fashion. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
about really anything else he has going on. I haven't even seen the documentary on
I was gonna
Netflix that is
ask.
largely about his music. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been turned off by him as a person and therefore as an artist for
Mm.
a bit of a long time. So I would
Okay.
say, as for right now, Kanye West, big flop.
Wow. Okay. I too have a bit of a nuanced opinion. I've not seen the documentary, but I have heard really good things about it. I think Matt watched the first episode and says
Mm,
it's really good. I think as an artist, specifically back in the day, I too
yeah.
not so much anymore have listened to his new stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
think back in the day as an artist, Bop.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a human being, I don't want to give him a flop because I think he struggles with some mental health things, which I'm never going to give
Sure.
somebody, a flop because they have mental health struggles. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about him as a person, so I can only really speak to him as an artist. Which, yeah, I think I would give him a bop. Um, that does lead into the question, though, of whether you can separate a person from their art when it comes to supporting them. I think a really good example of this would be Chris Brown. Is
Mm.
it fair to say that you can separate Chris Brown as a person and all the horrible things he's done from his music? Like, is someone still able to enjoy the art
Mm-hmm.
without necessarily supporting the person?
Chris Brown is a weird one for me. I think that I think that I think that people when I see people supporting Chris Brown, just
Mm-hmm.
like he gets like I mean he's pretty much escaped his
Yeah,
shit. Like I think recently
yeah.
he had an accusation that was disproven and everything like that, which like I guess good for the truth coming out. But whenever I see support for Chris Brown, I feel like kind of like is this the guy we like you want to prop up
Mm.
like that's kind of the
Mm-hmm.
guy but at the same time I think you should separate the art from the artist. I mean not should, I'm sorry, not should, but I think it's easy to
Mm-hmm.
like I don't have a problem watching the Cosby Show,
Ah,
and I
okay.
don't necessarily have a problem like listening to R. Kelly's music even. But like at a certain point, I think it's if people are like I haven't seen a Kevin Spacey movie, I don't think in years, and
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. I think it just kind of like falls into place a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there's a problem with separating the art from the artist. Like I think if people are like, well, this person is not great, but what they gave me at some point in time was and is
Mm-hmm.
important to me. That I understand. I'll never fault anybody for. So separate the art from the artist. I think that's okay.
All right. Yeah, I think like everything in life, it's situational, which I
Yeah,
think is
definitely.
something that tends to escape us as a society. We forget that there
Hmm.
is like nuance to things, and things can depend on other circumstances. So
Hmm.
yeah, I like that take. But all
Thanks.
in all, for you, Kanye
Yeah,
flop.
yeah. Gotta give him a flop.
All right,
It's
that's
unfortunate,
fair.
but it's the truth.
Yeah, we're all entitled to our own opinions.
We are. Yeah, we are.
All right, Chase. Well, that's all I got for Bop or Flop. How'd you feel? You like the game?
That was great. That was a great game. I had a lot of fun
Good.
playing this game. I always like hanging out with you, Abby, in the good human space or not. So this is a real treat for me. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me. I always enjoy playing these games with you. Anytime I want to play a little game like this, I'm like, let's get Chase Brown on. He's the
Call
guy.
me up. Call me up because I got takes and I got
Yeah,
opinions.
I know. I like your takes and stuff. I like your opinions. Like I said, what you said in the Christmas episode has stuck with me. So thanks, thanks for being a good human, Chase.
Thank you, Abby. You as well.
And thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, with the episodes with guests, we do have a video episode. So if you've listened the whole way through this episode already and you feel the need to go back and watch it, it is available on YouTube. So as always, thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to follow along on Instagram, you can find the podcast at goodhumanpod on Instagram, or you can follow my personal Instagram at Abby_Wellner, or you can not follow me at all on Instagram if you also think Instagram is a flop. Chase, do you want to plug anything? You want to tell the listeners where they can find you, or you want to remain anonymous?
Just do what you can to do what you love, and be mindful when people around you give a shit.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was really nice,
But you
Chase.
don't have to follow me on anything.
Okay. We love your words of wisdom. As always, thank you, Chase. Thank you guys for listening. And until next time, see ya.
Bye.